Assalamu alaikum. Today on Neuron Academy, we're talking about the urgent call for preparation in a world that's changing faster than ever. If you find this beneficial, please support us by subscribing and sharing it as a sedekah. Let's begin.
There's a certainty on the horizon, a reality that's marching towards us with every single tick of the clock. This isn't some distant, abstract idea. The future is an absolute inevitability, and it's coming for every single one of us. And it's not taking its time either. It's not arriving at some gentle pace, giving us all the time in the world to casually adjust. No, the speed of change in our lifetime is just unprecedented. Things that used to take generations to shift now transform in just a few years, sometimes even a few months.
And this future, well, it doesn't really wait for an invitation. It doesn't knock on the door and ask for permission. It shows up with all its complexity, with immense pressure, and with challenges that are going to test the very foundations of our societies and of our faith. It is a relentless, unstoppable force.
So the real question, the one we all have to ask ourselves, isn't if the world is going to change. It's, will we be prepared for it when it does? Are we going to be the architects of what's to come, or are we just going to be living in a world designed by somebody else?
To even begin to answer that, we have to turn to a core principle deep within our tradition. You see, Islam is, and it has always been, a deen of preparation. Think about it. Every single generation of Muslims before us was tested in a way that was unique to their time. Some of them faced the trials of war and conquest. Others were tested with incredible wealth or political power. Our generation? Our test looks a little different. It's a test of knowledge, of information overload, of technology, and all the responsibility that comes with that. But here's the constant. Within our tradition, a test is never, ever sent without the tools for preparation.
This right here, this is the timeless truth that should ground our entire approach. The future isn't some prize that's handed out to the most powerful army or the most vocal person on social media or the wealthiest nation. No, it's an inheritance for those who have the foresight, the discipline, and the wisdom to actually prepare for it.
And this preparation we're talking about, it has to be holistic. It's not just about being smart. It requires prepared minds, right? Minds that are sharpened with knowledge and critical thinking. But it also demands prepared hearts, hearts that are anchored in an unwavering faith and sincerity. And crucially, it calls for prepared character, a character fortified with the ethics and the integrity of our Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Just look at our history. It is not a story of people just sitting on the sidelines watching things happen. It is a history of pioneers in science, in philosophy, in governance. Islam came to raise a community of contributors, people who build civilizations, who advance human understanding, and who lead with justice and compassion. Okay, so this principle applies directly to the specific test of our time, this absolute explosion of knowledge and technology. And let's be clear, this isn't some science fiction prediction. These are today's realities. Artificial intelligence is already shaping our economies. It's determining opportunities through these incredibly complex algorithms. Automation is completely redefining what work even means. These tools, they're not neutral. They raise these profound ethical questions about bias and fairness and human dignity that demand a whole new frontier of Islamic jurisprudence, a kind of digital fiqh, if you will. So this presents us with a really profound choice. If we prepare with knowledge, we empower ourselves to lead and to innovate, not just to consume what others create. When we prepare with our Islamic ethics, our role becomes to protect humanity from the potential harms of these technologies, making sure they serve our values instead of subverting them. And when we prepare with faith, we ensure that in the middle of all this dizzying change, we stay grounded in our ultimate purpose.
The alternative is, well, it's pretty stark. If we choose not to prepare, if we just remain passive consumers instead of active shapers, then the values, the ethics, and the entire direction of the future will be decided by others, and our voice will be completely absent from the most important conversations of our time.
But this isn't just some big collective responsibility. The call to prepare is deeply personal. It's a call for you, right here, right now. Just pause and reflect on this for a moment. Your existence in this specific time, with all of its unique challenges and opportunities, is not a coincidence. It is by the divine decree of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have been placed here because you are needed here. Specifically, your unique intelligence is needed to solve incredibly complex problems. Your ethics, drawn from our sacred tradition, are needed to guide all this technological development with wisdom and with compassion. And your faith is needed to be a moral and spiritual anchor in a world that is, frankly, losing its bearings. So where do we even begin? Well, first, we seek knowledge with real seriousness. We have to move beyond just consuming content to deep literacy in both our sacred sciences and the temporal ones, from the principles of AI ethics to data science. Second, we have to build discipline, because ambition without discipline is just a dream. Third, we must protect our akhlaq, our character. It's the most valuable qualification you will ever have. And finally, we have to make sure that every single worldly goal we have is ultimately aligned with success in the hereafter. Because at the end of the day, all of our preparation, all our skills and ambitions, they're all measured against one single ultimate reality.
This is the question. This is the question we will all face on the Day of Judgment. Not what era you happen to live in or how hard the challenges were, but what did you do with the specific blessings and the trusts that were placed in your hands?
Every single moment of your time is a divine gift. Every skill and ability you have is a sacred trust, and a machana. And every opportunity that crosses your path is a test of your gratitude and your readiness to contribute.
The Muslim community today has more than enough commentators and critics. What it desperately needs are active participants. It needs people with prepared minds to innovate, anchored hearts to stay true, and the courage to actually lead with conviction and integrity.
You see, the future isn't a destination we just arrive at. It is a reality that we build day by day through our choices and our actions. The future belongs to those who prepare for it today. The only question left is, will you be one of them?
Presented and created by Nurin Studio.